We got babies. They right there. Get away from me, you old dirty mama.
I said I was going to give you an update on Bacon's pregnancy, which as we can see, she was obviously pregnant. She ended up having 7. 1 was stillborn, and the other 6 that you're watching. At the moment, they're probably 4 weeks old in this video. Doing really well. And she's been a great mom. So sit back, relax. We got a couple points to talk about. So right here we have a good example of what a breed standard is for the Hereford. You'll have 4 white socks and the white face, and most every purebred Hereford that I've ever seen has a white underbelly, so I don't really include that when I go looking for one. You may ask yourself why having a breed standard may be of any importance to you, and say that if you wanted to raise pigs for meat like I do, it doesn't really matter all that much, but because I don't want to keep every single pig off of a litter, it makes it easier to sell the ones I don't want. The buyer will know exactly what to expect from a purebred Hereford when they do the research and look it up. It'll have the white feet, the white face, and in general make the transaction go a lot smoother if the piglet looks like what it's supposed to look like. Now, that doesn't mean that crossbreeds are negative or that they don't have a place. There are a lot of options out there that can yield different results, like the coloring of the meat, the marbling, how fast they get to size, along with a bunch of other traits. But for me, I just want to stick with pure breeds as much as I can. It seems to fit what I'm doing. So now you have an idea of breed standards, why they may or may not apply to you. Now you want to continue on and decide that you still want piglets. Let's talk some pros and cons. If you can, write down at least 3 pros and 3 cons. Weigh them out. I'll go through mine. We'll go through the pros first. My big one was to raise at least 1 piglet, if not multiple, for meat. It would include one for all your normal cuts, like your chops, bacon, tenderloin, but it would also include another one for lechon. If you don't know what lechon is, it's a traditional Filipino dish that's an entire roasted pig. It's absolutely delicious. I wholly recommend it, so go look it up. 2, to recoup some of the feed costs associated with raising all the pigs for the past year. I think when I figured it up, if you include stud muffin in there, it's just under $400 a pig, what it comes out to. Number 3, when we finally did have the piglets, my nephew just awestruck. It was brought up between me and his parents and my parents about him joining 4-H to show the pigs and the chickens, and also to check out some of the other opportunities that 4-H offers. It gets him outside, away from the iPad. It actually gets him doing something to feel a sense of accomplishment, so that's always a good thing. Now the cons. With all that being said, everyone here still needs to be realistic and not get wrapped up in all the cuteness. There are surely negative aspects to having or raising pigs. Number 1, the feed cost. It will skyrocket the last month of pregnancy and for the following 8 weeks to raise those little piglets. 2, the piglets are escape artists. They are gonna get out. It's really expensive to build a pen for them in the setup that I have that they can't escape. Like, so much so to the point that it's just not feasible. Number 3, selling them. It's just difficult to build a reliable network. I'm not necessarily referring to moving the female piglets. They're pretty easy to move on certain Facebook groups and from friends of friends that already have pigs. Moving the males is what's more challenging. If people are not wanting a boar for breeding purposes, they move pretty slow. You can either lower your price or raise them a while and sell them as roaster pigs. If you do that, you need to castrate them. And speaking of that, we can work into number 4, which is castration. There's really not a whole lot of information in video form on how to perform castration that's not behind a paywall. So if anyone's interested in seeing it, leave a comment. I have to castrate 3 pigs here shortly and planned on filming it anyway. So if there's enough interest in that, then I'll go ahead and post it. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good one.